All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to That'll Be $8, the podcast, aka the Black Awareness Rally podcast. You can be rocking with anybody else in the world right now, but you are here with us, and for that, we do appreciate you. It's your main man, Pledge, alongside B.
What up, man?
And we welcome all of you guys to the discussion. So, what you rocking to, homie?
You hear it just like I hear it. When it's Queen Latifah Unity, man. It's just...
I hear you.
Got how catchy it is.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It'll be even, it's beautiful to hear, but it'll be even more beautiful to see.
To see in the real world, right?
To see in the real world, yes, it would be.
I'm with you on that.
To see that vision come together. So
kind of fruition.
And I think that's what we're here for. We're here to, talk about it and see how we can be about that change to bring that UNITY vision to life. So, yeah. So what's been going on with you this week, bro?
Man, I feel like I kind of fell off this week, man. I ain't been as studious as weeks past, but started getting my decoration bag. Picked up a couple projects, make a couple dollars on the side. And we starting to rev up for school, man. Started having trainers at the job, virtual trainers. So, yes, sir. What y'all?
Same old thing, man. Still laying low, not getting involved in too much of anything. But time is passing, so it's all good, man. It's just keep moving forward, bro.
True.
That's all I can say on this end.
Well, there's that. Ha. Oh,
yeah.
Celtics lost. Oh, the NBA started. That's why I've been doing that too. Kind of.
Yes, the NBA has started.
Yeah. So, watch some of that. 2 games I wanted to go other ways didn't happen, but it's just nice to have it back. Forgot how much it was fun to kind of watch and talk about it with people. So
yes.
Yeah,
it is good. It is good to be back. Defense hasn't shown up yet, but the NBA is back though. So
everybody's saying the defense already here, but I don't
know. Nah. The way they putting points up is very, very.
Just everybody willy nilly.
Yeah, I think it was the Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks. They combined for the most combined points in the first half in 20 years. So
what they were doing?
I think it was 85 to 75 at halftime. So
it's
yeah,
James Harden for you, boy. You can get you some buckets. You might not win nothing, but you're gonna have a lot of points.
Yes. So yeah, some defense was optional in that game.
Nah, I ain't with it. It's funny. Somebody I know hit me up on the social media webs. And it was like, "Oh, you hating on James Harden?" I'm like, "Man, that dude can score 200 points. I don't care." What? I was like, "He don't never win nothing." And they was like, "Oh wait, he ain't won no championships." I was like, "Nah, he ain't won no championships." That's
where have they been?
That just show you how powerful the media is, dog. You think James Harden had 10 rings out here? What they be talking about him? But
I mean, he had to go against the Heat when they were, in their prime, and then he had to go against the Warriors. So I don't know if the Warriors weren't in place. I mean, he might have snuck one in there, but he does seem to disappear in clutch time, though.
I ain't even gonna say he disappeared no more because I'm gonna let him have that. That style of play ain't gonna get it done, playboy. But anyway, it's another conversation for another podcast. All right, man, let's get to the busyness.
Yes.
All right, Black Awareness Rally sponsored by the wonderful people at McDowell's. They got the Golden Arches, we got the Golden Arcs. Queens Boulevard, if y'all are willing to try it. I don't know when they're gonna be open again, but that building
drive-through is always open.
The drive-through is open?
Is always.
You ain't gonna get no food, but I guess that's black businesses in general, right? Bad customer service. But nah, jokes. I kid. funny style. Other sponsor is the Mighty Singers of Sexual Chocolate. No brothers be making the ladies swoon and making the fellas clap. And that boy good. Randy Watson is the chief sponsor. Dear friend of Pledges. They go way back to 77. at your local rec center. You know what I mean? That's how he came to sponsor us. So appreciate that, Pledge, coming through for the show.
Yes, I mean, but Randy Watson, would he be able to get away with the kiss in the Me Too movement though? I mean,
no,
he wiped that off with the quickness.
Nah, I think he might end up doing some time with that one. So he might real deal get canceled if the Reverend see fit enough. But then again, the way stuff be going, maybe that might be the one thing that is allowed. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That's funny though.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Woo. Yeah, that was funny. All right. Go ahead, run yours. You can do the you can pick it. I don't even know if I'm ready, B. Like I just been so off this week.
I'm gonna start with the community moment, and it was an unfortunate passing of John Lewis, but he had his funeral this week.
Mm-hmm.
But in anticipation of that, he wrote an op-ed that the New York Times released, and if you go to the website, you can not only read it, but there is a audio version of it that's about 5.5 minutes or so.
Okay.
But want to give a shout out to the big homie John Lewis, not just the legendary civil rights leader, but also he was a member of the Congress representing Georgia. So give a shout out to him. And as I said, I think they said he finalized it 2 days before he passed from cancer, and then he wanted it to be released on the day of his funeral, which was this week. So shout out to the big homie John Lewis.
That's dope to have foresight enough to do something like that.
Yes.
Well,
some inspiring words too. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I wasn't hip to that one. For my community,
giving everybody a charge to move forward. So
yeah, we have the Cultural Experience. It's a community group that travels from black city to black city. They're currently in Atlanta right now doing big things. It's an immersive art experience where you get to go in and take pictures and pretend to be in different movies and different scenes for some iconic black media from the ages. For example, there's like an All That room. You get to pretend like you're on the set of the show. All That, you and your friends get to wild out in there for a little bit before you move on to something else. I also want to shout out, there's another group called Vault ATL. They are making it so that learning to wield weapons and get your certifications can be a fun thing to do if you go with your crew. Shout out to them. They do it once a month, the first Saturday, where they have something called Fun and Shoot, and just found out about them from one of my friends. So good time. So I guess everything don't have to be all doom and gloom here on the show, but that's that.
Cool. Yes, and for my entertainment moment, this is something that we've been talking about several podcasts, is about entertainers having a platform, but not necessarily trying to lead and direct people. But there's a campaign that's going around Hollywood, and it's called the Pass the Mic campaign. Pass the mic.
Okay.
So it's basically where celebrities with like millions of followers on different social media platforms are inviting experts in their field of study to speak to people that are on their platform. So this is something that's like real big, to where you just say I'm not sure, just say somebody, famous actress like I don't know.
Nia Long.
She has 2 million followers. 2 million followers, whatever. And so she knows that whatever she says, that these 2 million followers are going to be kind of apt to listen to it. So she will bring a doctor on her platform to speak to her 2 million followers. Yeah. And it's something that a lot of celebrities have jumped on and become a part of, you know. So like you say, they know they're not the experts, but they know that the people follow them, and so they're bringing experts. So I figured that you would like that one with the Pass the Mic, the celebrities, you know, sharing their platform with experts in the field. So
listen, I'm taking all the credit for that. My idea. I didn't tell nobody, but they've been listening to the show and they decided to do it. So shout out for everybody for listening to us and finally doing the right thing, like Spike say.
Yeah, once again, that's called Pass the Mic.
Pass the mic. I like that.
Pass the mic.
No, that's really dope, man. I heard nothing about it. Kind of been off this week. My entertainment portion will be, I suppose I'm gonna go black men again in sports. A lot of guys are doing what they said they would be doing, keeping their word. Now that the season is officially in full swing and other sports are trying to chime in and do things, guys are stepping up and still not letting everybody pass the buck, so to speak, off the hook. Like, we still in here talking about the movement. We still in here trying to get more eyes on the prize. And so much so that the NHL even had one of their 3 black players, men of color, come out and speak at the opening of their ceremonies. And I really appreciate that. You know, we're still trying to keep the attention on things. It's not what we hoped it would be, but you know, we still got to keep the conversation going for anybody to reach it. So, I mean, for any movement to happen. So, shout out to those guys for still keeping their eyes on the prize. I thought you were gonna say something about Beyonce, so I was gonna let you have that one, but
I thought that would be too obvious,
too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah.
I mean, but my next one's gonna be very easy as well, though. So.
No, I got you. Who you got?
Yeah. Miss Michelle Obama, of course. This week she started her podcast, saying she a little behind in the game. I'm saying your boy's being pledged as a pastor.
But she shot up like number one in the pod on the Spotify chart.
Hey, we ain't keeping numbers over here. We ain't keeping numbers. Man,
I'm saying that ranking is pretty high, bro.
Yeah,
hold on.
But shout out to her. She pulled out the ultimate, deuce of spades, deuce of diamond with bringing Obama on the show. I'm saying she ain't hold it to the last few hands. She was like, I'm just gonna come out, from the beginning,
just out here
with the
winning books.
Yes, just out here winning books off top.
Just cut.
So,
hey man,
don't even know what a partner got.
No,
but,
it don't
yes.
matter. I'm just chopping them off immediately. Hey man, good luck. I hope she can sustain that. These shows that are geared towards having celebrity guests, man. I hear that's a tougher way to pod, because your show is only as good as the guests you have on, apparently. So, but no, I hope she do all right, man. I'm gonna check it out a few times. I'm pretty sure. I hope she does well. That's all I was saying.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she will, man. I mean,
yeah.
What hasn't she made happen for herself? So.
True. Hope she does well. For me, my Black Awareness pageant contestant for the week is the resurgence of black women from the CPN, what was it called? UPN? The UPN network. Congratulations to them, to the 4 shows that got picked up by Netflix that are at the helm are black women shows like Girlfriends. I think Moesha. Hey, y'all help me out. Is it Moesha? I want to say it was Moesha.
Yeah, that was the name of the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying they're going to be picked up on Netflix to
they're gonna
be shown on Netflix?
Now, like 101, The Parkers, I believe, Girlfriends. There was like 2 other shows that that's going to put the sisters back up in the forefront. So shout out to them for getting picked back up. I know Brandy just released the album I haven't checked it, not listening to it yet. So, what y'all talking about in the chat, man? Kendra here cursing. Let's see. Shout out to Jonathan Isaac for being the first NBA. Jonathan Isaac is a ball player.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to address that today.
I don't know, man. But apparently, Jarrell wants to talk about it. Shout out to Kyrie for putting his money up to help WNBA ladies who are opting out for the season. Yep. Hey, did we shout him out last week for that?
Kyrie or the WNBA?
Kyrie donating to the ladies.
Nah, we didn't shout them out.
Oh, well, yeah. Shout out to Kyrie for donating to supplement the incomes of the women in the WNBA who opted out of playing this year. Kendra, calm down. Let Kyrie have some good press. So, yeah, Moesha is definitely one of the shows that are getting renewed for the Netflix run. Hey, Mom. Me and Mom was talking earlier. Hey, man, we was talking about women and decorating and art. And I was wondering if the women in our generation still kind of make that like a legit hobby of theirs, where they like want to do interior decoration at the crib. And sisters came out in mass and was like, "Yeah, we still like doing that." I was like, "Oh." So, I don't know. I know when we was growing up, all the matriarchs in my family, they were serious about that thing, boy. Like my auntie and a sister and my mom was posting pictures on the post, and it was just like, man, I miss that kind of level of decoration. Like, it's just a different breed. I don't know. Anyway, so since we're gonna be talking about art all day, so yep. Hey, man, this should be a week that everybody might enjoy. It's not necessarily gonna be a lot of research involved. It's just gonna be a candid discussion with us. So let's get right into the thick of it. All right. First topic is what do you think of Black is King? Black is King was the video album that was released and produced by Beyonce Knowles Carter this Friday. It was a visual aid for the Lion King soundtrack that she produced, that went along with the Lion King film that she produced. Well, not produced, but starred in. And yeah, what you thought about it, Pledge?
I liked it. I mean, Lion King, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely my favorite Disney animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the fact that it can go even a step further, through this production, I thought it was great. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you do remember it, but we were taking an Africana Studies class back at USF, and the professor pointed out that with Disney exploring all the other continents on Earth, they depicted people, but when they decided to depict Africa, they used animals to depict the continent of Africa.
Right.
And so, of course, Beyonce didn't do that. So it kind of made me think of that moment, and Beyonce kind of taking it a step further and actually bringing in the people this time, and not just the continent to be represented by animals at the time. So, as I said, I'm a big Lion King fan, and the story. The story is classic. It's all time. It's about. It's something that we watch. I watched with my boys maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah.
And, and I gave them that same kind of broke it down to them like, hey, man, you guys, are born kings no matter what. So no matter, you might veer off the path. You may not see it in yourself, but know what you're made of.
Sure.
And, and it takes mentors, and a lot of times it takes strong Black women to get, young Black men back on track or whatever. But, once they know what they're made of and they live up to that calling, there's no limit to what they can do. So as I said, I think, the story is, the story is a story. The story is classic. But I just think that everything that went into it, the level of detail of the story, and her doing things the way she always does it, It was a great depiction, and I think that she really hammered home, what we're capable of, and what we're made of, and that's the thing that should remain paramount above anything else. Any of the minutia that people want to get involved in when it comes to this, but the story is king, and so I rock with it.
That's deep.
How do you feel?
You started getting into something I always wonder about, and that's what it would be like to raise a kid when we have this type of climate going on. And I always be like, man, kind of want to brainwash my kid. I think some good belief systems, but nah, man, I think that'd be awesome to show kids. And I just wish we kind of in school right now so I could show some kids, even though some parents might not particularly be fond of it. And again, we'll get into why. But nah, man, I thought it was one of the most beautiful things that I've come to see from a musician. And I always kind of lean towards musicians giving us stuff like this because they don't have to. Like, this ain't a thing that they have to do. It's not a requirement. And so kind of biased when it comes to musicians giving us videos and movies that are pet projects that go along with albums that they make. So I'm always here for it, man. And it was actually very pretty. I like the color in it. I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it to see how. I'm gonna have to watch the videos independent of the long stream that she put together, because it seems like she was trying to recreate the actual story of Lion King by using the different music videos that she was going through. But I see the chat going up. I should make that a little bigger, but it seems like we got a few people that are in disagreement with it. Kendra said he fell asleep on it. It wasn't boring. I just watched it too late. I think they started watching it like 2 a.m. Let's see.
I was shocked when it started. I was like, an hour and 30 minutes. I mean,
it's a whole album.
It's a whole album.
Yeah. I don't know, Q. Why you talking about you ain't gonna watch it? Why you watching, Q? Because it's racist? I don't know. She says not something she's into. Well, what you thought about the symbols and the style of garb she was rocking and some of the imagery in it? Like, was that particularly disturbing? Or, not to say that it was, but just impressive.
No, I mean, as I said, it's art. I mean, that's what it is. It's art, and you are, it's there to tell a story, and it's there to accentuate a story. So, I mean, I don't know the traditions behind it. I'm not sure, of everything that it represents, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some backstory on everything.
Yeah.
That breaks it down to a deeper level. But I mean, as I said, I think that I'm pretty sure her intent was maybe to draw attention to these things and to kind of celebrate and to praise certain things.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, as I said, I think not just visually, but I'm pretty sure culturally it had some relevance as well with everybody. So, with the deeper story that she was trying to tell or bring attention to or praise. So
true. I know. Man, it just I don't know. I just think it was extremely well done. Could it have been better in some ways? I don't know. I think maybe the order in which she put the videos together kind of made it kind of hard to keep up with the storyline from the movie. But maybe she was just going straight through like the album is set up like in that same order. So maybe I would say not do that. Maybe stick to the movie arrangement. But I guess who are you trying to cater to, people listening to the album or people that watch the movie? But that's nitpicking at this point. Let's see. Kentrell say he hate musicals, but he watched it.
I hate musicals as well.
This wasn't a musical though. This was a music video. This wasn't a
Yeah,
musical. It's like
but
Thriller. Thriller is just a music video. It's not a people acting and then singing. This was literally just a music video. The Hamilton
yeah,
is a musical. It's a movie. This wasn't a movie. This was just an extended music video. So I don't want people to go into that looking for, people acting. That wasn't the point of this. This was just a music video. So
yes.
yeah. Um B is Illuminati. That's what people. Nah. We'll probably get into why she's not in that a little later, or why that's not a real thing. Of course, I had to do a
I
little bit of
mean,
research on that. It's not a thing, so I don't even want to.
I think anytime people, especially Black people, achieve a certain level of success, we have to disassociate ourselves from them for some reason and be
Well,
like, oh, they this successful because of this. It's no, they're super successful, and if we want to reach that level of success, we should learn the lessons that we can from them. But as soon as we say, oh, they they're so successful that they can't be, this is that we're telling ourselves that we can't reach the same level of success as them because we're not a part of a secret group, the Illuminati. So I think
sure.
it's just a defense mechanism that people use to disassociate themselves from people that are uber successful. So I
Yeah,
think that's a dangerous mindset. And as I said, and I think that if you watch the video or pay attention to it, you'll see that she's trying to kind of like kill that myth that that we can't achieve whatever level of success we want. I mean, I think that's what the whole thing is about, is realizing what you're capable of accomplishing because of where you come from and who you come from. So if anything, she's trying to get people to level up.
yeah, I'll agree with you on that. Um, the Illuminati is not for Black people, so the the history of it, whatever's written in some sort of textbook, it's not for Black people. So you can just go ahead and kill that. No Illuminati would let this video get out if that was a real thing. This is not the kind of imagery that the Illuminati wants associated with it. So this is extremely Black. This is extremely uh, ancient leaning, and it is technically it is African spiritual concepts being presented. So we'll get into that a little bit. Let's go ahead and get to the third topic. I mean the second topic. Uh, one of the things that came out as a result of the movie being announced when it was last month and it actually getting released was the obvious controversy that Beyonce always attracts. And you got your people that are supporters and people that are detractors. And one of the top conversations that has been circulating around the web is certain parts of Africa, certain countries are offended. Well, I ain't gonna say countries. Certain groups of people are offended by the use of Africa as a prop, or it's just something to make money off of. So our second topic is dedicated to the question: are we, I mean African Americans or media in general, treating Africa like a prop? Prop is something you just put inside your movie or your story just to help the story go along, move along. So are we using Africa as a prop? Again, that's born out of several high-profile people and just people with Twitter in general saying they're tired of Beyonce using Africa to push this Wakanda romanticism or this myth that is either we live in huts or we're kings and palaces with diamonds and gold with white stuff painted on our faces. And they were like, we're tired of seeing that. When are you going to start representing us the way that we actually are, which is just some people that got iPhones that roll over in the morning and scroll Twitter just like the rest of the world. So what you think about that, man?
I mean, this is another example of that. No matter what you create, people gonna find a way to hate on it. Like that's just what it is, and that attitude is not exclusive to America. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
that's a worldwide thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you're never going to be able to make everybody happy or please everybody. So just create whatever it is you want to create, and people rock with it. Good. If people don't rock with it, God bless. So, I mean, that's just going to be my general reaction to any time somebody
Just
hates any form of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't think that she was, because I'm pretty sure, what she was doing wasn't common knowledge. I'm pretty sure she had to have conversations with people, get buy-in, get an understanding of things. Even if she wasn't doing it, the people who were producing it did it. Had that. Hey, how is this done? Things of that nature. So if anything, when you're coming into a culture that's not necessarily your own, I think there's a level of education and a level of a learning that has to go on. And so I'm pretty sure she had to learn different things about different, practices or different customs, different traditions to, put a production like this on. And there were people that were participating in it. I'm pretty sure that, that helped her put that together along the way. So
let me ask this then, because I do think this is an example of something that divides instead of unifies, but we also want to be careful not to step on people in the process of creating artwork. So when I saw the discussion being had online with some sections of Africa feeling like they're not being represented accurately, they were saying it's because it makes other people look at them with this weird perception of the continent. They're saying it's promoting the image of colonization. It's promoting this romantic view of Africa as being exactly like Wakanda. It's promoting this idea that it's either you dirt poor, living in the hut, walking around in this ancient garb with your face painted, or it's saying that you just got diamonds and that everybody's a king, everybody's a queen. And they're saying that's just really unfair because Beyonce has such a huge platform that it makes a lot of people look at them in either of those lights. And they're saying, you don't even come over here to talk to us. Y'all don't even come over here to perform or do concerts here, let alone do anything but promote one particular religion that used to be practiced in Africa. I'm asking myself, because I'm always trying to figure out, are we being cool, but are we misrepresenting some parts of the continent, even though we claim we're doing something that we want to use as a unification tool? Like, I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. Like, you don't like it, get out there, do your own thing. But, somebody saying, Beyonce, hey man, you're making it hard for me. Like, can you chill with that a little bit?
My reaction to that would be, was this presented as a documentary or was this presented as entertainment? And entertainment doesn't necessarily have to reflect exactly what's going on. Sometimes entertainment can be a projection of what people aim for in life, not necessarily what's going on. Okay. And I think that as long as you label something as art, it doesn't have to be, historically accurate or fit, a storyline that everybody agrees with. It could just be somebody's interpretation of saying, hey, even if things are not the way they are, even if things are not like this, if we adopt this mindset and we come together, this is what things can be. And sometimes people need to see what things can be more so than they need to see how things actually are, because that's going to help them overcome how things actually are.
But we can't.
If they see a representation of what it can be, though.
We can't all be kings and queens. There's no way for that to be possible. So what, like in the comments, a couple people are saying just because Q saying that just because she meant well doesn't mean that, it's still a good thing to do. And so I'm not even playing devil's advocate here, because I know if it was me, like, our next segment is going to address the African American part of this. I don't like how people try to represent black people in America with the media portrayals of it. So I completely understand when Africans are saying, man, stop doing that. It's not either or. There's 54 countries with hundreds, maybe even thousands of different cultures involved in it that y'all are not representing. Like I tried to watch for that. When I was watching it, I was trying to see how much variation there was in the video about what Africa could be like. I did see some instances of, showing city life. Some cats in the nightclub on the party. I did see some instances of, people living in the market and, going shopping or whatever. And, that was cool. But I did notice that there are no examples of parts of Africa where you could do something like just be on your Wi-Fi all day. Like, some people are saying, in particular, there was a Nigerian model who was like, man, you don't never show the complexities of Africa when you portray us. It's either dirt roads, tiki huts, or kingdoms. Like, when y'all gonna come to Lagos and film the doggone World Tech Conference that happens here every year? Because we're the emerging leaders of the tech industry. I was like, ooh, I can't argue with that. Q was saying blackface is art, so seems like Q was saying, man, Beyonce did an injustice to the continent. But I also think that Q is being slanted. I don't think Q like Beyonce for some reason. We have to ask her, Q, why you don't like Beyonce? Let's see another thing. I have a great interest in the pride of Africa. What can we actually truly know about experiencing places firsthand? Pledge, you want to answer that? What can we do to know about it the right way without actually going there?
I mean, first of all, we can look for information from somebody other than Beyonce. I mean, so we gonna base our thoughts and opinions on something based on a performer who, I mean, I'm not trying to downgrade her all, but I'm like, she didn't study, the history of Africa. So why should our limited knowledge on something, why would we place it on Beyonce to educate us on anything? I said her job is to entertain us. That's it. If we place anything else on her plate, that's on us. That's not on her. We place an elevated level of expectation on her that she's not asking for. She's entertaining us. Okay. And so I think it speaks to us that are looking for her to educate us on something that she's not able to educate us on.
Yeah.
So in the same sense that you ask celebrities not to get into lanes that they're not comfortable with or something they're not prepared to handle, I think that that's something that she's doing, is saying, hey, this is my experience, this is what I see, and this is what I want to project, but it's not going to be historically accurate, and everybody's story is not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So I think that if we're looking for an education, go watch a documentary. Don't tune into this.
Okay. Well, I have a different answer to that. I kind of also agree with that. Like that certainly helps. Man, y'all need to stop letting entertainers be your only source of information for certain topics. Again, you guys need to have a wider berth news, and it certainly helps you guys to kind of see things with a more nuanced eye. But in terms of this Beyonce project and the imagery and the symbols she used in this, she actually studied or portrayed that she was studying a historical view of black gods and kings in Africa. The book was called Black Gods and Kings, written by Robert Ferris Thompson, which was also lauded by a historian that I look to for information on things that I think may be outside of my scope. That historian is Dr. Greg Carr. You can follow him on Twitter. It's Africana Carr, or you can go to YouTube, and he has a weekly session where he teaches about different things. But Dr. Carr, who's way more informed about this than I am, says that a lot of the symbolism and the imagery and the coloring is a nod to the pantheon of African spirituality. And although, it doesn't show a current day-to-day life for the average African, it does speak to a lot of the traditions and the ancient customs and the anti-whiteness that was seen in the video. It's historical. She tried to make a artful presentation of the history of African spirituality. And so it got me to thinking about something different, and it'd probably be too much for the pod, but she attempted to show, like you were saying, she was just trying to highlight some stuff that she thought was important for the black man and woman to see anywhere in the world about their lineage, about their ancestral heritage. So I know we can get in a debate about, the appropriate manner of that, or is it against Christianity and whatnot, but she showed the book and the clips in the video. So if you guys want to go read the book, you can certainly do that. But she tried to do a project that was based on her inspiration from the book. I kind of give her points for that. She didn't hide where she got her information from. Some historians said, yeah, that's a good book you can read to get some understanding on African spirituality. She gets a point from me for that. But I can also see why Africans might be upset. Like, man, stop doing that. Like, you don't even mess with us the tough way. The only time you come here is you want to be in the desert and the jungle. That's like 1/5 of the continent. Like, you don't come rock with people over here that's just out here living normal lives like everybody else in the world. So, and it's really complex, man. But nah, pledge, I agree, man. Y'all got to start. If you want to learn stuff, you just have to find somebody that can give you a wider berth of knowledge, or you just gonna have to be consumed with consuming the knowledge on your own. Let's see, not the person. I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of her music, just like I'm not a fan of plenty of other people. Q says she don't like her music. She has no problem with the person. Let's see. Waleed says, do we know that it isn't a true representation? Yes, Waleed. People in Africa have Twitter, and they came out immediately. It was like, man, that ain't me. That ain't how I live. Matter of fact, I'm on Twitter tweeting you right now. So.
I'm saying, but that ain't them. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist at all, though. That's the thing. Is not everything is for everybody. It may not be them. Argument. It may not have been them, yeah. But it all it has to be is one person's reality, and that makes it relevant. So,
Waleed says, so she made art from a book, and we mad at her. Some of us are, some of us aren't. It's just Beyonce. Anything Beyonce does is gonna split the group in half every time. There's gonna be people that don't like it. There's gonna be people that do like it. It's just this is the first time that I've seen wind of Africans being this passionate about how they're being portrayed by Beyonce. They're
yeah, saying, I mean, and a majority of that came out before it was even released, though. So people just knew that it was going to be something, and they didn't even wait to watch it before. I mean, you were sending me clips about people reacting to it before it came out, so they didn't even take a chance to watch it first. But they just knew that she was making something, and they didn't consult them personally. That Beyonce didn't consult that person in particular. And so they were like, well, she ain't talked to me about it.
Those people.
She didn't talk to me about it. So
look, man, Beyonce got a history of doing this. I mean, honestly, it's not the first time she's made a project that is African centered. They said very clearly in the tweets, like, look, man, cool. We get that you love the Yoruba tradition, which is a spirituality, school of spirituality called Yoruba. It's based in the physical location of Nigeria, but it's a religion that's considered an ancient religion that's kind of left over from pre-colonization of the area. But some people are like, man, look, man, we get it. You in the Yoruba, but dude, you got to stop. Like, don't come to Nigeria, study Yoruba traditions, but don't represent, the that we're just normal people, just like you. Like, I think their complaint is warranted. Just accurately represent us. We don't care that you just real deep in love with some ancient stuff. Just stop making it seem like we either in huts or we either with white face paint. And I was like, that's fair, dog. Like, I can't tell them not to be mad because they got to deal with the misrepresentation. Just like we got to deal with white people thinking all of us is Tretch from from Naughty by Nature. We're not all tatted up doing pull-ups on the street corner stop signs. It's just, it's fair. And so that leads us to our next topic. Oh, wait, I got to do it, not you. My bad. Topic number 3. Are we stereotyping ourselves in art? Pictured in the corner is Kenya Barris. He is the creator and writer of the shows Black AF, which is on Netflix, Black-ish, which is on ABC, Mixed-ish, which is on ABC, Grown-ish, which is on ABC, and he was a writer for some time on the show Girlfriends. He was a writer on the show The Game. He was a writer on, I'm forgetting 2 more really popular black shows, but this guy is a writer and a show creator. And
yes. Great shows at that.
Huh?
I said great shows at that.
Yeah. He was a writer. His show Black AF is a recreation of Blackish in my eyes. It just shows his family documentary style instead of sitcom style. Well,
and that's the thing is that Blackish is a reflection of his actual family.
Yeah, like they're both about his family.
In real life, yeah.
Yeah.
In real life, is married to a doctor and he's a creative.
Right.
So
Black AF kind of took some different routes with it, but it's still about his family life and some of the things he deals with as a wildly successful writer. Now, on Black AF, I think it was episode 5.
5, yeah.
Where he was asking the question to the viewer, do we properly criticize black art as black consumers of black art? And he was asking about, I tried to run the clip that I sent you, but Netflix got this little technology that prevents me from screen grabbing it and showing it. So I have to explain to people. So anyway, in the clip, Kenya Barris, his name is Kenya Barris. Kenya Barris was on a Zoom call with Issa Rae. That wasn't Barry Jenkins, but I forget his name. But Issa Rae, Ava DuVernay, Lena Waithe, and the black dude that did Girls Trip. Oh, he was right on Girls Trip. He was a writer on Girls Trip too. Kenya Barris wrote the script for Girls. Well, he was one of the writers for Girls Trip. What is the director's name of Girls Trip, dude?
Will Packer.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
So he had all of them on the phone call, and he was asking them. He's like, "Yo, do y'all think that we don't accurately criticize black art in an attempt to make it better?" And so everybody on the video call was like, "Yeah, no, we don't really do it. We just like black stuff, right?" And so he started going into examples of black films that he knew bothered the directors that were on the video call. And so the first thing he said was, so since y'all trying to be scary about it, he was like, what y'all thought about the movie Green Book? And then all of them got mad. And he was like, see, so why don't we fairly criticize our art in an attempt to making it better? And this is where Brandon comes in. This is like the crux of my being. He even asked Tyler Perry. Let me get to that part. He went and even interviewed Tyler Perry later. And he was like, Tyler Perry, I want to make art that is well crafted, good enough to compete with any movies, be it white or black. And I feel like white people don't take us seriously because all we do is make silly stuff just to appease us. Tyler Perry says, F that, I don't care about nobody else. I only make movies for the women that I've seen in my real life. And there's a reason I overserved them, because I don't care about what white people think. I don't want no awards. I don't care about no ratings. All I care about is making movies for the people that I know. Now, Are we stereotyping ourselves by doing that? What you think, Blake?
I mean, once again, we have to take it for what it is. You have to take it for entertainment. And um, I know we've had this Tyler Perry discussion. Personally, I'm not sure if we ever had it on the show, but there's a large segment of Black people who don't, agree with what he puts out. And I take it case by case. Some stuff is funny, some stuff is trash or whatever.
Yeah.
But he has an audience. You can't be that successful without having an audience.
Right.
So there's a large number of people, and it seems to be a loyal audience that's going to rock with him. And so those people need something to entertain them and make them laugh. And in whatever nugget of truth or whatever nugget of education that he can drop with whatever he's putting out or whatever, so be it. So I think that it reminds me of something that Stephen A. Smith says a lot on his show. He says that, white people show up with a job to do, Black people show up with a responsibility.
Okay.
And I think it's a lot to ask every Black artist or every Black creative to constantly hold the weight of everything being all things for all Black people.
Piece.
I think that's, as I said, I think that if we wait for the perfect piece of art that is going to make all Black people happy, we won't put anything out. So with that said, if you're an artist or you're creative, just because you're Black, you don't get to tell whatever story you want to tell. You have to tell a story that, everybody has to agree with. So I think it's a unrealistic expectation to put on artists. And I think that they should be able to sell whatever stories they want to tell, and the audience will determine if it's a good story or not. But I don't think it should be viewed through the lens of, is this good for all Black people? Is this going to be something that's move all of us forward? Did it entertain me? Yes or no?
I completely disagree.
I figured you would.
Yeah, I know everybody thinks it would. Insecure is toxic. It's trash. Stop watching that mess. Grow
no,
up.
It's not, man.
Watch some good
It's really
stuff.
not, man. That's what I'm saying. You can't discourage people. You can't discourage young artists who've been able to create a lane for themselves the way Issa Rae has and expand from it. You can't discourage people from when they've been able to make moves the way she has. You go from YouTube to HBO, and you can't discourage growth like that by.
Whoa, time out. You just said something that I think really needs to be said. You cannot discourage growth.
Yeah, you cannot discourage growth.
Okay, so this is what Kenya Barris and myself are asking, and the Africans on Twitter are asking people. Why aren't you continuing to grow now that you've reached this particular juncture in your career? It seems as if all you want to do is get paid for a stereotype. It's not that you're trying to make art. Okay, we get it. Issa Rae, Adventures of Awkward Black Girl, cool. It got you the deal at HBO, cool. It got you season 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you gonna grow out of that? 2, cool. Tyler Perry, your stage plays made way for your studio. Made way for your movies, which made way for your studio. When you gonna grow out of that? You got $1 billion. You gonna tell me you just? Why aren't you continuing to evolve in the craftsmanship or the portrayal of a dynamic or wide range of Black people? I cannot relate to the stuff in Tyler Perry shows. I know it, and I know who it serves. It
so
serves
you're saying you can't relate
the previous
to
generation. That's not my life. I'm not a light-skinned mechanic that loved Jesus. Come on, dude. I'm not a $1 million lawyer who cheats on his wife and then gets paralyzed. That ain't me. I'm a teacher that wants to climb a mountain and listen to European electro R&B while I'm doing it. You telling me that black person doesn't deserve to be portrayed in media?
I think that sounds like Issa Rae and Insecure.
That is not Issa Rae. You just missed everything I said. That is not Issa Rae.
I mean, yes, that is.
I'm not out here trying to have a hotation.
I'm saying, but it's plenty of people that are.
That ain't me though.
Sisters,
that ain't me.
I'm saying it's not you. So I'm saying something's not for you. It's just not good.
I'm saying that's cool. What I'm saying is what
there's only one show. There's only one show about a married black man that is trying to do everything he can to hold down his family. There's only one show out there like that that's popular, and that's Blackish or Black AF. I'm saying so. Geared towards me, I'm supposed to say all other shows that are not geared towards me are not good. When I know when I have females, when I know women that can relate to the Blackish story, who've been young, black, successful, but they haven't necessarily been able to get everything right as far as life and relationship.
So
yes. So I'm saying, I know more people that are in that situation than that are in my situation.
So this how I'm looking at it. So you telling me because hamburgers and hot wings taste good, we don't need to eat nothing else? That's what you saying. You saying because hamburgers and hot wings taste good, we don't need to eat filet mignon. We don't need to eat. I don't get that. Like, what if I don't want to eat hamburgers and hot wings every day of my life?
I'm saying if we get hamburgers and hot wings from Hooters, we can't expect Hooters to give us kale. No, we can go to another restaurant and get kale.
So you saying I gotta
go to another restaurant?
I'm with you. Another restaurant. But there is no other restaurant in the neighborhood that serves something other than hot dogs and hamburgers and hot wings. Nobody else. That's my issue. That's Kenya Barris's issue. There is no restaurant serving people that want to eat something else. Hooters was like, oh, y'all like steak? We'll give y'all a steak. Come on, bro. It's a $5 steak. You gonna eat a $5 steak?
Hey, what are those little things that are on that shelf behind you? What are those things?
These are the reasons that I want to see other crap.
I'm just saying, but those are books, though. So if you can't get it from TV, get it from books.
What?
I'm saying you want it convenient, you want it chopped up, you want it in 30 minutes or less.
I want to see it in the IMAX.
Saying, but take time to read a book.
I do that.
If that's your form of education,
this is the problem.
But don't look for TV. Don't look for TV to educate you.
When white people get it, why we can't do it? You telling me white people got the privilege to do that, and we can't do it?
White people do not make a movie and be like, I wonder how every white person in America go rock it.
No, white people make
whatever it is they want to make.
So let's do this. So 1917 is a film that just came out, won a ton of awards. It was one of the most beautiful movies I ever seen. So beautiful, so pretty. And the director and the producer of the film said, I made this movie because my granddad served in this war. That's the only reason I wanted to make it. So this dude took his personal experience and made a movie and won a bunch of Oscars and all this crap, right? Tyler Perry said the same exact thing. Tyler Perry's like, I make the movies I want to make because it serves the stories that I've seen growing up. Okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what, again, me and Kenya Barris are saying. Why do you not want your work to be criticized so that it can improve? Why don't you want to represent more people? Like, why we ain't had a movie yet? Well, we had Red Tails, but that was trash. And we can't say it was trash. Well, you can't get mad because it's the only movie that shows black people in the airplane. It's like, I saw the movie. It was terribly made, but thanks, white dude, for making the movie for us. It wasn't even a black person that made that movie. So I'm saying, what's so wrong with us wanting to get better at it? What's so wrong with us wanting to have different stories shown? Like, we was in World War II. We was in war. Every major war of American history, we was in the war. We were a large contingent of the war. Why we don't get no movies about that? Why everything got to be about hunching and sexing?
Were we in Glory?
Sex. So much sex. I'm tired of that.
What was Glory about, though?
Oh, how long ago was that? That was almost 40 years ago.
It was a long time ago.
That's almost 40 years ago. And look how well it was made.
Yes.
Hold on. Matter of fact, Kendra say a joke from that episode. 1917 wasn't nothing but a white Men of Honor. That Men of Honor wasn't even a black movie. Was it Men of Honor a black movie?
Nah.
Yeah, you're talking about just a white
It
man.
had Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, but that's it. Cuba Gooding Jr. was the star of it. But
yeah.
That's it.
No, Wiley, I'm not giving Hollywood new time. Black Hollywood is not new. That's what's wrong with y'all Negroes. Black Hollywood has been around for 100 years. What's wrong with us, man? We've been making movies since the beginning of the movies been being made. Man, we can't keep doing this, man. Sidney Poitier did all of this. Harry Belafonte did all of this. People been fighting for us, Dorothy Dandridge and Eartha Kitt and all this wonderful stuff, dude. They did this stuff 60, 70, 80 years ago. Why are we still doing the same thing? Like I was watching The Chi last night, the TV show. And I don't want to watch it because, you know, I'm not into it. I don't want to look at representations of the bad aspects of being black. I'm good on that. I get it. There's only so many stories you can tell with that backdrop. But I was watching it because I was editing for the show and Drell was watching it. So this whole thing about being a chef popped up. And Kendra, get out of here with Major Payne. Anybody from the claim there's no black. That ain't even got nothing to do with wars. That's about boot camp. That ain't got nothing to do
Oh, man. Oh, man. God, boy, you warned me before that one.
That dog go to military school. He got nothing to do with no war. I ain't maybe forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. And so in the movie, right? I mean, in the show, the episode, some dude was helping this lady who's a chef, and blah, 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 right? And so at the end of the event that they was catering for, they had sex. And I was just like, duh, we get it. We good at having sex. How many times do we have to prove to the world that we're good at having sex? Like, why is it every movie we make has to have a sex scene in it? Like, again, not that this white man is better, but we tell stories better than white people. We've been telling stories before they've been telling stories. Why don't we honor the tradition of being great at telling stories? Like Jack Reacher, it's a book that got turned into a movie. And it's about this rogue dude, just like the Equalizer, about this dude that's a ex-army services dude. And this chick tries to like come on to him that he was saving. And he's like, no, ma'am, I ain't here for no sex and no women. I'm just here to do my job. Get off me. Ain't no love interest. So like, see, we can tell movies without just boiling down the sex. And he did it because he wanted to hunt some lady. What's so wrong with that?
Oh boy. Well,
Pledge, you sell drugs?
No, I do not.
Do you're a light skinned mechanic that loves Jesus with muscles that just got out of prison?
No.
Are you a crooked preacher?
No.
Are you the son of a crooked preacher who doesn't want to go back to tell the preacher, hey, you my daddy because, you know, you slept with my mama even though you married, but I had to hide that you my son my whole life because you're a preacher and that's going to mess up your church?
No.
Are you a struggling chef who wants to get a gig from the commissioner so you can cook at all the mayor functions so you can get rich because it really means a lot to you if you can cook your cakes at the governor functions?
No, but there are people who fit into every description to every description that you described though.
So what?
I'm saying, but there's somebody that fits into all of those roles that
they are being overserved. What about the people that want to eat something other than burgers and wings? What if I want a taco? You telling me I can't get a taco because everybody else like burgers and wings?
And I'm saying, and there's an avenue for that. There's an avenue for that. That's why, as I said, that's why I resonate with the show Blackish so much, because I feel like that is an accurate representation of me and what I experience on a day-to-day basis. I'm saying, so there's something for me, but there's something for everybody else too.
No, it ain't. It ain't nothing for everybody. It ain't nothing for me. I've yet to get a film for me. You get your TV shows and your films. Well, actually, I did, but that's another conversation. It was made by a white person, which I have a problem with that. The Watchmen. Let's go back to the chat. We up here wilding. Tyler Perry don't show sex. Yeah, Tyler Perry don't show sex. That is true. He just make us look bad in every other way imaginable. You see how he do the wig? Like, come on, dog. You got a black studio with I presume an all black background cast, and your wig still come out looking like that? Come on, man. Like, I feel like at this point,
I think it's something called comedy.
It wasn't a comedy film. That was a drama.
What was?
It was like a movie he made about somebody going to prison, and the dude, like, the internet jumped on Tyler Perry for how bad the wigs was, and they was like clowning him. It was like trending on Black Twitter.
Oh, so in prison you gonna keep your wig tight?
No. It was like a movie about prison and in and out. Like somebody was. It was the same story. Somebody went to jail. Some black single woman had to date the dude, and there was a implied sex scene, and people were sending around this meme with the dude laying in the bed with his shirt off, but he had this high top fade that just looked like they threw some lint on the dude's head. And people were like, dang, Tyler Perry, you think we that dumb now? You just finna start disrespecting the haircuts now? I was like, he feel like y'all gonna keep watching it, so he finna spend as little money on it as possible. Let's see, but players know someone that fits that description. All that them questions I was asking you. I don't know nobody. What about me?
So you don't know nobody that can fit into Insecure at all?
No.
No single black women who are struggling to get it together.
None. All the black women I know are mayors and tech industry women. I don't know no people like Issa and Molly.
Molly's a lawyer. You don't know no lawyers?
I don't know no women lawyers.
You don't?
I know men lawyers.
Maybe we need to see more black women lawyers. So maybe that's what we need to show for. And so young black women can see that they can.
Show about female lawyers. I don't want to see.
And that's the show about female lawyers.
I don't want to see no female lawyers trying to cultivate a hotation. We got to have a hotation because we black. Is that the only thing we care about? Sex. Everything we do is about sex and infidelity.
I give this disclaimer all the time. I'm out the game, so I'm probably shouldn't be speaking on this, but I'm pretty sure a hotation is something that does happen among single people.
Nobody has a hotation. Players, I don't have a hotation. I'm the best looking person in Atlanta, and I don't have a hotation. Hold on. What are you making that face, dog? If I step outside right now, I can get 5 phone numbers.
I didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. I saw your face. It's satire, B. No, it's not satire. It's insulting you. They calling you stupid. They know you're going to keep paying for this tired behind McDonald's hamburger when you can go to Five Guys.
I think it's insulting for you to think that people can't distinguish education from entertainment. I think that's insulting on you.
They cannot.
So you're the one that's calling people
they're not critically
they don't have the intelligence level that's needed to decipher these shows.
So why you ain't see The Watchmen? Why you ain't know about it even though you got HBO when it first came out? Because it's for black people.
Yes, it's for black people because of the way it was presented. It was presented to me as a superhero show. And I don't get down with superhero shows. And I told you I watched the entire series of The Watchmen, and I was terribly disappointed. It didn't have nothing to do with. It didn't have nothing to do with.
It was all about black people. See,
no, it was not.
Okay, so
no, it was not at all.
Okay, here we go. Niggas went and saw Black Panther so much so that it's the third highest grossing film, domestic film in American history. Right? Me and Drudge talked about that. So niggas like superheroes, so you can't use that excuse. Niggas. I'm
talking about me personally.
See, when I said you,
and then once I found out it was a story on the history, then I was like, all right, well, I do like history or whatever,
right?
So let me watch it. So and it was 5% of the show.
It was like 60% of the show. So for those of us that don't know, Watchmen presented by HBO is up for like 20 Emmys, and Regina King is like the protagonist in the movie, and so. I mean, the TV show. It's only 8 episodes, and they're not going to renew it. So if you want to watch it, you're not going to miss anything. You're not going to be behind. Now, in the show is centered around Regina King's character. The show is centered around Regina King's character. You going to tell me it's not centered around Regina King's character?
It is centered around Regina King's character, but it has very, very little to do with the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombings. Very little to do with it.
So let me. They
don't even give a historical context of that. They don't show how it was developed. They just show that it was bombed, and then it was a kid.
So you wanted them to talk about how it got built? That's your fault. You should know how it got built. The point is,
I do know how it got built, but I was looking for that in the movie, and it gave you. It was a superhero
show. How many
show.
black movies have you? How many shows that are in mainstream media even address the idea. Like nobody even mentions the name of it, let alone try to recreate the genocide.
I'm saying, but they don't show how it operated. They don't show the historical context of it. All they show is
they showed the implications
it started when it was getting bombed.
They showed the implications of it happening. They showed the direct result of what racism did to that entire town. Was that not good enough? They told you,
no,
hey,
show the town so it could be replicated again. That's what you need to show. Show the significance of the town.
See, you want Tyler Perry to make it. That's why you want Tyler Perry to walk you through it hand by hand.
No.
Oh, this is how black people used to live. Oh, look at the houses. That's what black people want.
I want them to not use a historical event as a way to draw people in and then them not tell the story of what happened. I got hoodwinked. I got bamboozled because I was showing up for a history lesson and I watched a superhero show.
Wait, how you got bamboozled? I told you what it was going to be about. I told you it was about superheroes.
Yeah, and it was.
I told you that.
And it was at the 5 minutes after the first 5 minutes of the show, and after the last 5 minutes of the show, that was the only thing that was in reference to what happened in Tulsa.
So what about that whole 2 episodes dedicated to the son of one of the Tulsa victims and the life he had to live because the town he grew up in got destroyed?
It was outside of Tulsa.
That's because it got destroyed.
It didn't have show me what happened. Show life after it. Show me what happened.
The first 10 minutes of the show is about the destruction of the city. And then, as a result of the destruction, like the entire show is dedicated to, okay, since this dude had to run away from home to survive, this is the life he had to live, and this is the birth of superheroes. How can you not take that as a black show? They just credited all the superheroes with a single black dude.
It's a black show, but I'm saying, just say it's loosely based off of Tulsa, not it's based off of Tulsa. It's very loosely
about
based
Tulsa.
Off of
it's about one of the survivors of Tulsa and his lineage. All the superheroes that mattered in the show were black people. What are you talking? The only person that had superpowers was a black man. You should have been happy about that.
I was happy, but I was just looking for the Tulsa correlations, and it was very, very little of that.
I wrote a couple essays on Tulsa. I sent you the essay. You can read it since you just want to know about Tulsa.
I'm familiar with it. I'm just saying, but anybody watch that show, they won't be educated on it.
Yes, they would.
No, they will not.
It's a real thing.
It was a city that got burned down, and this is what the result of it after it got burned down. And we catch somebody 100 years later.
You're supposed to, man. You got to do what you got to do. Let me see.
100 years later, we catch the group that we think is responsible for it.
Oh, Quashina just caught you in a trap. She said, but then you just say you shouldn't be watching shows looking for them to teach you history. Then you just say read a book.
No. B told me that it was about. The directors didn't tell me about it. B told me what it was about. And then if we want to put somebody on blast, somebody else said that it was on that too. So, but it's all good though. As I said, I watched it. I'll never get those 8 hours back. When it's
But they out here representing. Look, they finna win. And it's thanks to you, players. Your 8 hours of contribution helped them get some Emmy nominations.
Yes.
Quanika says people like what they like. It don't always have to be serious, just entertainment. I'm not saying that it always has to be serious. I'm just saying be fair, man. Like, I got money too. Give me something for my money. You know what I mean? I want to spend my dollars. So you telling me if I ain't just out here shucking and jiving in the struggle, or mega rich, I don't get no story? Is that what you telling me? Come on now. We're in the movement right now that's all about representation. Look, Kendra talking about Lion King was a superhero film pledge. I don't know that. Talking about T'Challa equals symbol. T'Chaka is Mufasa and the kid is Nadia. Who Beyonce was? Mm-hmm. Scar was Killmonger. Technically, yes, it's the same thing.
As I said, like I heard this on a podcast, but there's only 7 different ways you can tell a story.
Yeah, it is.
It's 7 different interests that people that attract people to listening to a story.
Yeah.
And so we hear or see a lot of the same stories because there's only so many different ways that it can be told.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
one thing is that we have to look at not the story they're telling, but how do they tell the story?
That's
I
what
think
I've been
that's
trying
what
to get
brings
y'all to
nuance
see.
to show.
So now thank you. Finally, you understand what I've been trying to get y'all to see. How did they tell the story of the black person from the ghetto? I'm a black kid that lived in the ghetto for like 2 years. Now tell my story. I want to be the first spaceman. Like, why we ain't support Homeboys in Outer Space? That was a TV show about 2 black dudes being outer space astronauts. We didn't support that show. Why? Because when nobody hunching and drug dealing and having a rotation and a mechanic that loved Jesus with muscles. That's why we ain't like it. I bet you only remember that show. You remember that show?
No.
See?
Not my genre.
What? It was a comedy about 2 black dudes that just was being black in outer space. That's it.
Nah.
They were just being regular black dudes. They just happened to live in outer space. Duh, it was Dwayne Wayne and Ron from different world. Them your boys.
They are my boys though.
Shit, man, boy.
Stop them,
boy. Y'all just don't want
maybe Netflix will pick it up.
Huh?
Maybe Netflix will pick it up. Since they on a shopping spree right now,
because they know y'all don't like it. The only thing they want y'all want to see is failed relationship after failed relationship and infidelity and children had outside of wedlock and
Kid Drill said Homeboys from Outer Space is trash.
Man, look, man, y'all. Homeboys in Outer Space was not trash. You just couldn't appreciate the subtleties that were presented in the TV show. Hater. You probably can't name 2 episodes. But nah, man, I'm glad to see Kenya Barris is a brother that's in Hollywood that's having the same thoughts that I'm having. Like, why can't we challenge the quality of the storytelling that we're doing? And we should be getting tired of just seeing the same 5 or 6 types of black people presented on TV over and over and over. That ain't fair to everybody, man. Like, we want stories too.
And one thing I could say about Kenya is that not only does he show people, but I think one good thing about his shows is that he shows the complexities that we have of balancing not just being black, but trying to become successful in America. I think that's one thing that all of his shows shows, that it's not something that's easy. It's a struggle. It's a balance that we have to have. And, and sometimes we may not know how to balance that, but the people around us sometimes help us walk that balance together by, inserting their thoughts and opinions on things or whatever. And so I think that's one of the good things about his show is that he always, it's always a struggle that we have to try to find a way through. So yeah,
I don't know, man. The historian dude I mentioned earlier, Greg Carr, was saying, even in times like, I don't know if y'all know, but Mickey Mouse is a black man being a minstrel character. Minnie Mouse is a black woman being a minstrel character. Daffy Duck is a minstrel character. And Bugs Bunny is actually a recreation, the Trickster Rabbit, of an African spiritual practice in the Oshun. So, anyway, another day, another dollar. But he was saying that in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, which was radio and the emergence of television, obviously you had a lot of white people in blackface pretending to be black people, shucking and jiving and being lazy, shiftless, ex-slaves, blah, 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 right? And the black people of the day, you had the NAACP, which is one of the leading groups and organizations for activism and change for people of color, and then you just had the average working class African American at the time, and NAACP was fighting with Walt Disney and Disney World and the Disney company, saying, "Hey, you need to stop with this Mickey Mouse stuff because that's racist." And technically, it is. Technically, Mickey Mouse is a minstrel show character, but at the same time, you had radio shows that had people on there like Stephen Fetchit and some other notable characters in history that were portraying black people as dumb, lazy, and extremely docile and subservient to white people. Now, these were like the only roles they could get on TV, and so naturally, those were the only people that were being portrayed in the media at the time. Now, the average black person that would be watching this show enjoyed it because they felt like that was all they could get, so they didn't mind. They was like, "Well, it's funny. It's somebody black on TV. I don't care enough to fight it. I'm gonna just watch it." So, after hearing the historian say that, he was like, "Man, the only people that really care about it are the academics that are fighting to push back against misrepresentations of us in media or any form. Everybody else, which is probably the majority of the African American experience, they just don't care. They just happy to see black people on TV. They don't care how bad they look." So I guess you guys are saying you just so happy to have somebody on TV, you don't really care. And by that, I can't argue with you on that. I can't tell you what to be happy about or what to experience. I'm just always giving you guys a bird's eye view of the issues and experiences that we have. And I always, I feel like I at least have to mention what's happening to you, and you can take the information however you want to take it, do what you want with it. But hey, I sure wish y'all would stop shucking and jiving.
Stop shucking and jiving in real life, or stop shucking and jiving on TV?
Everywhere.
I mean, if you stop giving people an audience, if there's no audience for what you're doing, that's when people realize what they're doing is wrong. As I said, so people, they're still putting out stuff that can relate. I think the problem is that you don't like the fact that people relate to some of this trash, but
I get it,
that relate to it.
Yeah, I get it.
So I mean,
relatability is a powerful thing, man. If you can be relatable to people, and people don't have to work too hard, because life is hard. I mean, I know people that got some really, really dire straits and situations, and I get it. But that's another conversation. Why is your life so hard? I mean, you're gonna have to stop at some point and think about it, or you're just gonna have to die silent death. It's up to you, though. I guess all religious texts tell you that life is a struggle, but it's supposed to be like internal, not this constant war with, outside forces, that your quality of living is just so tough. But again, if you don't feel like fighting that fight, pay me no mind. It's your life. I appreciate you listening to me try to teach to you. But no, I ain't mad at you for finding stuff relatable. Listen, I like everything, but what that means is I also want to see everything. Like, The Shower was good. 2 seasons, all right, cool. That was good. I saw that. Oh, they still doing it? Okay, well, I know ain't nothing changing, so you go watch something else. That's basically how I operate. If I see you gonna keep doing the same thing over and over with no growth, I'm good. I watched Issa Rae, Tyler Perry when they first started, but they gonna keep doing the same thing. They're like, all right, cool. Well, I ain't missing nothing. That's that. But I want my shows and my movies, dog. When we gonna get a story about the first black man to climb Mount Everest? When we gonna get that movie without him getting to the top and having sex with a white woman, or cheating on his wife, or having estranged kids? Why he can't just be a black dude versus the elements? When we gonna get a Black Revenant? Okay then, see, you ain't even got nothing to say.
I don't. You recommended Watchmen to me, so I'm not taking
you got to expand your mind, man. See, the white man got you trapped into thinking you can't be a superhero. Unless you're coming out of a hut. Say what?
So it's the white man's fault.
That's the white man's fault. You can't see yourself as the protagonist. You got to see yourself as helping the white man save the world when you can't be the brother saving the world. What's wrong with your thinking? That's deep, bro.
I gotta go listen to John Lewis's speech again. Get me inspired. So.
I ain't telling you, Kendra. Go watch a movie about it. Oh wait, you can't because ain't nobody made it. See how racist that is? But we got like 25 mountain climbing movies in like the mid '90s with Sylvester Stallone and all them cats. But we can't get a story about a black dude. We had Wesley Snipes was in one of them, but it was in relation to a white dude. Why we just can't have our own? That's all I'm saying, dog. Anyway, I don't know. I have a high hope that you'll be the one, B. Thanks, Quanika. If I can just get me some Adderall and focus, I produce a lot of stuff I be complaining about. But man, is it hard. I'm gonna have to let Players run the show by itself for like 2 years so I can do it. Players, you got it?
No doubt.
But yeah, man, I'm out of topics. I ain't really got nothing else to joke about.
I think it was a good, lively show.
Yeah, a lot of laughing. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Yeah, Kushina, some people just support black because it's black. Unfortunately, that'll get us in trouble in a lot of ways, but you know what can you do? Nothing wrong with that. You gotta let people be happy. Here Kendrell, the first black dude to climb Mount Everest, he got to say something slanderous about him. See, you want to be playing all the time. Let me see. We'll go see his support. Quinnick, y'all ain't gonna support my stuff. Ain't nobody gonna like it. It's gonna be too deep. They're gonna have to think too much. Ain't nobody gonna be able to relate. Ain't nobody climbing on Mount Everest. In the right place.
I can't relate to that.
Nah, but you can't watch it. It's real life though. It could happen in real life.
Yeah, it can happen in real life.
Dang. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I'm done, man. If you got something you want to strike up,
Yeah, man, I think it was a good show, man. Thank you guys for another lively show where you guys interacted with us and gave us your comments. We appreciate you guys for joining us and look forward to the next show.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
God bless.